Wide eyes bore holes into the dark of her room. Janelle reached out and ran her fingers along the cold margins of the other side of the bed and paused before recoiling into her own warmth. She listened to the still of the morning, disturbed only by the last drops of a midnight rainstorm. Her mouth opened and twisted into a yawn that echoed silently through her ears and watered her eyes. She threw her body now to face the doorway. It watched her back, slightly ajar, the hallway dark and inviting. It urged her to rise from her bed and start the day. There was so much to do. Her hands slowly crept from the warmth of her bedding and fell atop the nightstand. She turned the face of her alarm clock to get a better view and sighed deeply. 5:49. She retreated back into the covers, closed her eyes, and made her breath still. Her body relaxed and she began to stretch out to bring warmth to the other side of the bed as she buried the side of her face in the cold of the fitted sheet. She pulled the other pillow lower and close to her chest, pushing her hands into it in a swarming embrace. Janelle's thighs pushed into each other before separating and sprawling out to each of the bottom corners of the mattress. She paused here. Her nose took in the smell of the newly warmed fitted sheet and pillow. Her heart beat against her chest and sent tremors into the pillow at her breast. Her eyes watered again, this time from a wave of emotion that seemed to have set itself upon her all of a sudden. Her fingers pressed into the body of the pillow, its foam and cover shaking in her grasp. An exasperated whimper escaped her lips and tears began to flow. 6 o'clock. The alarm's harsh screech stabbed into the bedroom air, tearing her away from her moment and urging her to the rituals of her morning. Janelle arose, somberly sauntering into her bathroom, confronting the reflection that greeted her with a sobering gloom. Fluorescent light threw itself over her skin, touched with hues of mahogany and blush, bringing her tired and sunken eyes to focus. She stood there and took the morning in. Her hands gripped the side of the sink and scraped porcelain pressed tightly under her fingertips. One final sigh found its way over her lips as she turned the knob for water and splashed her face, washing the morning's dejection and replacing it with poise and purpose. Dressed now, with her thoughts focused in a single-minded list, she began to ready her house for the day. In the still of the house, she walked through the halls, her footsteps only joined by the groaning of the floorboards and drops of rain falling from the edges of the roof and into the pine straw and brushes below. Her march led her to the kitchen, standing over the stove with a half box of pancake mix in one hand and a small pan in the other. Janelle gracefully, methodically, moved around the room. She thought to herself about her son and how much he loved pancakes. She wanted to make his morning special. Every thought she could have had was replaced by her task. Janelle lost herself in the mundanities of cooking and clearing the spaces at the table for herself and her son, Aston. This morning was going to be good for them.